there, my name is April Sawtell and welcome to my channel. Today what I'm going to be doing is I'm just showing you my storytelling quilt. It's just a fun project. I started it about a year ago. All I want to do today is I just want to show you the progress I've made on it, and maybe you'll be inspired to make a storytelling quilt as well. So my storytelling quilt is really just about my home, and I'm kind of looking at it through my kids' perspective and my grandchildren's perspective. So the things that you'll always remember about our home. And I'm trying to pull it all back out and really keep up on it because I'd like to finish it, and I'd like to have it hanging as a finished quilt. I don't mind adding to it. Even after I've got the binding and stuff on, I know that the finishedness is only going to stay within the quilt size, so I can always still, it's just raw edge applique, I can add pieces to it. But what's happened is in a year a lot changes, right? So I don't want it to get too far off, and then cars change, you start adding things to your home and doing things different. So I just got to get where we're at right now done. So I'm going to just tell you a little bit about my little quilt here. I hope you're inspired to make one. I think storytelling quilts are just, they're great. You have them forever. It's your own personal quilt. You don't have to make it a full-size quilt. Mine's not going to be. Mine's just going to be something I'm going to hang up in my sewing room. And I think it'll be just something that all through time you'll have, everybody will be able to reflect on it. So I'm going to show you what I've done and where it's at now. So here's what I've done. I've just take a piece of fabric, and you take your fabric and you put on some fusible webbing. Now I'm not going to bring you through the whole process of this because I'm just giving you some ideas of things how you could do this. So I just ironed on fusible webbing, and I saved all my pieces, and whatever is appealing to me is what I will use to continue to build it, like the grasses and the tarred driveway. I'll show you all of this here in just a minute too, but I'll just show you some of the fabric. I did find, when I had gone shopping there when I was making it, I do have a pool, so I wanted to make sure that I had some pieces of the pool in there, and I found some little faces. So I had cut a few of those out as well, and I just created the little kids swimming in the pool. Some of them, I still have quite a lot to do on it. These had some chairs and some tables, so I'm going to definitely be able to cut some of those out and incorporate some of those on there. This piece of fabric I had found somewhere along the line back when I was really starting this, they were in the water, so I thought, I could cut some of those out, raw edge applique those on there as well. So what I do is whenever I put fusible webbing onto, I do the two-sided fusible webbing, and when I put that onto my fabric, I just save it all. And then I have little pieces, big pieces, to cut through. And if I ever need to just go make another piece, I will. But I just like to keep them all in one area, and that way I can just start reaching for them. They've already got the webbing on them, the paper back, so I can just press them onto my quilt. So what I'm going to be doing right now is just showing you where I'm at on this. Today, probably what I'm going to do is I'm just going to cut out some of the black. I just need some pieces of black, and all I'm going to do is I need to put a fence around my pool. So that much I know, that's where I kind of have left off. I'd like to get that fence around the pool, and I'm going to find some black pieces. They don't all have to be the same size. They don't even have to be all long pieces, because I can join them together, because it's really just a big old mess, because I'm just going to be raw edge sewing on this with a zigzag stitch. I'm doing it all in red. It's a little messy, but it's just the way I want it to look. So I'm going to show you, just like when I want to make a piece of fence, I'm just going to take this piece. I want to make a black piece for around the pool, so I'll just cut it. There's no measuring or any precision whatsoever. So I'll just cut a few, I'll cut that piece off, and I'll just cut a few little, you know, lines here. And then I'll just like I'll go like every other, and I'll just snip them off. And that will give me that black fence that I'm looking for to put around the pool. So what will happen is the kids will have so much fun with this once I have it hanging up, and they'll be like, oh, you know, Grampy's tractor, oh, the lawnmower, remember Grampy's old lawnmower? Or, you know, oh yeah, I remember we call it a bunkhouse. We have a camper in our pool area. That's in there. They use it as a bunkhouse. It's so perfect for our family. Whoever's here gets to stay in it whenever they want to, and it's like a little campground out there. So it makes it fun. The kids will always remember that. It's just a fun thing to have on our quilt. But like this, for instance, this is going to get added onto my storybook quilt, and I'll show you where I'm going to put that here in just a second. So here's a few ideas. So then what I do over here on the back of the quilt, I have some pieces that I've made through time as well, and I'll just show you one of them. So this would be like my living room. This is going to go on the back of the quilt. I'm just going to have little snippets of the inside of my house as well, just the things that the kids will always like, that are really important to them. Like, for instance, let me zoom in on this. Okay, so here's what I've done here. So this is my living room. Here's my couch. Here's another couch. This is the TV. This is the whole stand that the TV's on. And there's a show on, and it was the Wiggles at the time I decided to do that. Here's one of my little grandsons in the high chair watching the Wiggles, playing with a couple of toys. Here's his little baby brother in the bassinet, and we're just all hanging out here in the living room. This is the piano. This over here, we have a blue chair in there, and this is the blue chair. Over here is just a big old white hutch with items all over it. That's there. Here's the windows. And here's my husband sleeping in the recliner. So I thought that would be a really fun thing to add to, this piece will be going on to the back of the quilt. This is one I did last year, so of course everybody got a little bit bigger and has grown up. But that's why I don't want this to get too far behind me. I need to get this caught right up. We've also got a new baby coming. The new baby should be here like around the 3rd of November. So I've just got to make sure I get this, you know, going here, because too much time goes by, like when the kids are growing up and things are changing. So I'm going to put this piece on the back of my quilt, just because I'm not going to have a lot of room on the front, and I want to put the most important things. I have a lot of grandkids, and I'm going to do one of these for, like, not all of them. Like, this is 2 of them here, so one of them might have, the next one might have like 4 of them in it, doing something that's fun at our house. So this is just one of the pieces that I will add to it. So here's my storybook quilt. So what we can see here is, you can see the house and the garage. Over here to the left is my husband's snowmobile trailer. that's always parked beside the garage. You can see his tractor back there. And we've got a shed back there. Behind the shed, you can see up at the top, you can see that little rooster. It's way up here. Whoops. So what that is, there's that little rooster. So what that is that's where all of our animals have gone to rest. So we've got cats and dogs, and we've got guinea pigs. We've got lots of animals in there. We've been here a long time and we've had lots of animals. So they're all buried back there. And then you can see my lilacs up in the back. That was from my dad's house. When my dad passed away, we got some of the lilac bushes. We've got a lilac bush back there. What you see up in the green that goes all the way around, that's just our fenced-in backyard. That was what I did for the fence. And then we've got, you can see my tires. I've got those black, they're in the center top. Those are like, I have these big tires that I've had for years and years. When with the kids, we have a pretty big playground back there. So there's that. And then there's the swing sets. You can see all of those swing sets. And that one to the far right is with the stripes. That's our slide. And then there's the little hut that we sit under. That's our little hut for the pool area. And there's the pool. I still need to make a whole lot of additions in there. You can see that one little piece of black. That is where I'm starting to add, that's in the pool area. That's where I'm going to start adding the black fence in. So to the left of that black, you'll see all that gray. That's like a rock wall around the house. That's a rock wall around the pool area, I should say. And then there's the stairs to go up to the back deck that come off the back of the house. And you can see I created the fence around that as well. And when you come down, there is the camper out in front of the pool with a whole nother fence going around. That's a different fence going around the pool. Behind the house, let's go right directly behind the house. We've got the brown roof. You can see that. Just behind that, we've got one of the tractors. Now that tractor is the old John Deere tractor. And I made that really sloppy looking because if you look up to the far left, you'll see another green lawnmower. And that's the newer lawnmower. And then we've had this old lawnmower for years and years. It was my dad's. And when he passed away, we inherited that. And that thing is just as broken as can be. And my husband still makes it run every single time. And we use it all the time. So that one is the one with the hole missing. You can see the brown on top. That was just because that will be a fun memory. Like the whole top of it's gone. It just is disintegrated and broke, and it looks atrocious. And that thing just runs it just runs so good. My husband has to always put Fix-A-Flat in it and stuff like that. But my goodness, he loves that one. So then if you're gonna just come down, I have that big bee's nest on top of the house. You can see that. For some reason, we always seem to get bees. We have a big nest that just comes back. We get it down and then they come back. It's not actually bees, it's like yellow jackets. So, but they live there. They're rent-free, so they're usually remaking a nest up there. So there's the camper in front of the pool. That we call that our bunkhouse. We don't take that out anymore. We used to always go camping, but it just turned into such a great bunkhouse that we don't really go camping anymore. If we decide to, we'll just figure out a different plan because it's kind of part of our home now. It just gives everybody such a nice place to stay when they come. So I'm sorry, I'm going to bounce back up to the backyard because I forgot to talk about the fire pit. You can see the fire up there. That's our fire pit in the backyard. I still have to add more stuff. I'm going to be adding like the trampoline behind the hut for the pool That's going to be where the kids all play too, in the backyard. They play on the trampoline all the time when they come. And when we come back down to the front, I always had some flowers right by where the camper, just below the camper, that's a fence. So on the driveway side, there's some flowers. If you come down even further, come down to the bottom front, you're going to see the mailbox. And then our brown fence is out there. And then we have a well house out there. I've got that as well. Oh, we have two big, gigantuous rocks out in our front that we've always had. Our kids have always sat on them for pictures. It's been a great picture spot all through the years. To the far right, you will see the green tree. So that green tree is our property line. That's between us and our neighbor. And we love that tree. It's on a banking, and it's a great spot for pictures, and it's a great spot. We used to have a bench up there to go sit on that overlooked our whole, property. And then over below that is that red bush. We have a big red burning bush. That's below the tree. That's on the banking. And then below the burning bush, you're gonna see that pretty bunch of flowers. That is our property line. Our neighbor has some hosta and some flowers in it, and you can see the little point sticking up, and that has always been there, and we know right where our property lines are. So I think that's it. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to continue to work on this. It's a work in progress that I was talking about. I'm going to just keep adding fencing all the way down. This is the black fence, and I'm still in this pool area. What I'm going to do is I'm just going to, it's got that sticky on the back. I'll peel that paper off, and then I'm just going to give it a nice press. I'm going to put my red thread in, and I'm going to just zigzag, a small zigzag stitch around the whole thing. You can see that's what I've done everywhere. And sometimes I go over it a couple of times if I want it to be stick out more, or sometimes I'll just go over it once. Sometimes I change the stitch to be a big zigzag, and sometimes I just change it to be a small zigzag. So that is how I do it. And like I said, this is a work in progress. I will continue to add to it. This is the driveway, and this is in front of the house. This is, I always have this red can in front of, old-fashioned milk can in front of my house. I didn't mention that. That's that. This is the door to get into the back, into the fence here, to get into the pool area. And then this is the driveway. And this is all the, gravel over here we have in front of the garage. And here's the lights on the house, and my little window boxes. So this was just a lot of fun to make, and I will keep it going. Hope you all enjoyed this video. I had a lot of fun making it. I think that if you're inspired to do this, I've seen this too, just one thing I never did mention earlier. I've seen this where people make their houses, like just their house, nothing else. And they just do it with a, like this raw edge applique around what they're seeing. I just think they're beautiful. It's beautiful artwork, and it's a nice, you could make this as a nice gift to say you just made it just the house part of it. Somebody in your family bought a new house. You could make them a picture, take a picture of their house, and then you just use fabric and create their house. And put some binding around it and give it to them on a nice little wall, on a little hanger, and they'll have a lovely little piece of art to hang in their home. I hope you enjoyed this tutorial. If you did, please like and subscribe. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you next time, and remember to keep it simple. Have a good day. Bye.